ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delayed Sahaya, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. World Museum Day observed at a national level. Seminar on meanings of independence and sacrifice paid in Barantu. Al-Qaeda affiliate claims 200 soldiers killed in Burkina Faso attack. And UN rejects US-backed Gaza aid paying, citing lack of neutrality. On our local news, World Museum Day was observed at a national level today at the National Museum of Eritrea under the theme Museums and the Rapid Transformation of Societies. The occasion, in which ministers and other personages attended, was officially opened by Ambassador Zameda Takhle, Commissioner of Culture and Sports. The program featured a display portraying the history, culture, and the Eritrean people's struggle for independence. The display included depiction of the armed struggle from 1976 until independence, a number of paintings by the veteran liberation fighters, as well as ancient heritage artifacts. Dr. Yosef Lipsakal, director of the National Museum, stated that the World Museum Day, marked annually on the 18th May, is being commemorated for 48th time globally and 31st time nationally. A seminar focusing on the meaning of independence and the sacrifice made to achieve the safeguard the national sovereignty was conducted in Barantu. The event was organized by the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students in connection with 34th Independence Day anniversary. Brigadier General Eyob Halibai, commander of Western Command of the Eritrean Defense Forces, emphasized the independence goes beyond mere words, carrying deep sacrifice and an immeasurable cost. He noted, due to the tireless effort of the Eritrean people and government, since independence, the value of revolution has been preserved, placing Eritrea on the firm foot while foiling direct and indirect external hostiles. Highlighting this year's theme as a reflection of the resolute stance of the Eritrean people and government, Brigadier General Eyob elaborated on the importance of remembering the resilience of Eritrean people and the heavy price paid for independence. He also called on the younger generation to play their part in preserving the legacy of their forebear and protecting the national sovereignty. Participants called for the organization of the similar seminars to enhance younger generations' understanding of their history. Similarly, a seminar focused on the history of Eritrean resilience and atrocities committed by the enemy force was conducted for students and members of the defense forces from 11th to 13th May in the port city of Massawa, also in connection with 34th Independence Day anniversary. During the seminar, Mr. Simon Mikael, the member of PFDJ Central Office, gave an extensive briefing on the Eritrean people's struggle for independence. Mr. Simon also urged the public, particularly the youth, to actively and consciously participate in preserving and transmitting Eritrean vibrant history to future generations. Training on controlling desert and tree locusts along with application of pesticides was conducted in Sawa. The training, jointly organized by the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Service Training Center. The objective of the training was to enhance participants' understanding of characteristics and life cycle of locusts to enable effective implementation of locust campaigns and to raise awareness about harmful effects of pesticides on humans, animals, plants, water sources, and the environment. In a related news, the Central Regional Administration provided vocational training to 460 staff members, including 139 women, across 5 fields. The training covered fire control, research paper preparation, financial and material management, administration and leadership and ethics. Mr. Taki Alata, Director General of the Administration and Finance in the Central Region, stated that the training aimed to improve overall capacity of the staff to ensure they provide timely, effective service to the public. Speaking at the conclusion of the training today, Mr. Fasahaya Haile, Governor of the Central Region, urged the trainees to internalize purpose of the training and apply the knowledge in their daily responsibilities. Likewise, administrative and leadership training was provided to newly elected area administrators, managing directors, and cashiers in Galalo Subzone, Northern Russia region. The training covered topics such as administration fundamentals, material management, documentation, budget preparation, planning, conflict resolution, workplace ethics, communication, and information analysis. Mr. Emmanuel Gabrabrhan, head of the Human Resources Development in the region, stated that the ongoing training programs across the region aim to enhance the quality training. Training on controlling desert and tree locusts along with the application of pesticides was conducted in Sawa. The training was jointly organized by the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Training Center. The objective of the training was to enhance participants' understanding the objective of the life cycle locust and enabling effective implementation of locust control and raising awareness about harmful practices and pesticides, animal plants, water resources, and environment. In related news, the Central Region Administration provided vocational training to 460 members, including 139 women across 5 fields. The training covered fire control research, papers, and financial and material management, administration and leadership ethics. Mr. Takek Alata, Director General of Finance in the Central Region, stated the training aimed to improve the overall capacity of staff and ensure they provide timely and efficient service. Mr. Takek Alata, Director General of Finance in the Central Region, said that the training overall capacity of the staff to ensure they provide timely and efficient service to the public. The viewers will be back with the international news shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back. An Al-Qaeda affiliate has claimed it killed 200 soldiers in an attack in Burkina Faso, army based week according to the NGO that tracks armed group online activities. The base of the northern town of Djibo came under attack on Sunday morning, and police station in the market were also targeted, security sources told the news agency Reuters. Although there were no official toll, 3 Djibo residents told Reuters that dozens of soldiers and civilians were killed. A video circulating on social media from Al-Qaeda affiliate warned people to leave their homes and said it would seize more terrorists. The attack highlights the difficulties of 3 Sahel nations, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, ruled by military leaders and facing in continuing the armed groups. Burkina Faso authorities have not commented on last attack. Military government took power in Burkina Faso in 2022. They have largely failed to provide stability, as more than 60% of the country is estimated to be outside government control. On our last news, the United Nations has said it will not take in the UN-backed humanitarian operation in Gaza House is not impartial, neutral, and independent, and Israel pledged to facilitate the effort without being involved in aid deliveries. The US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation will not start work in Gaza by the end of May under the heavily criticized aid plan that the UN aid chief Tom Fletcher described as a weak leap to further violence and displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. The UN Office in coordination with Humanitarian Affairs said on Thursday that the UN has solid and principled operation plan to deliver humanitarian aid in life-saving services at scale of immediately across Gaza Strip. Israel has accused Hamas of stealing aid, which group denies it has blocked the delivery of humanitarian assistance in Gaza since March 2nd, demanding Hamas release of all remaining captives. Israel and the US has urged the UN to aid group to cooperate and work in the foundation. It is clear how foundation will be funded. The Department of State spokesperson said the US government funding would not go to the foundation. The viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. World Museum Day observed at a national level. Seminar on meanings of independence and the sacrifice paid. Al-Qaeda affiliate claims 200 soldiers killed in Burkina Faso attack. UN rejects US-backed Gaza aid plan, citing lack of neutrality. That wraps up our stories for tonight. Thanks for watching and have a good night.